Hi, I'm Gary Jobson, your host for Sailing Quarterly Video Magazine. As you're about to see, Sailing Quarterly will entertain you and make you a better sailor. You subscribe to Sailing Quarterly just like a printed magazine, only Sailing Quarterly comes out 4 times a year on video cassette. Subscribers receive and collect a new 60-minute edition every 3 months. Each issue is jam-packed full of racing as well as cruising action. Plus there's some great instructional tips by some of the most experienced sailors in the world, like Tristan Jones and Don Street. This sample edition has been prepared to give you an overview of our regular features and special segments that you'll see when you subscribe to Sailing Quarterly. In past issues, world-renowned author and Caribbean sailing veteran Don Street has shown us how to tie handy knots, how to dock a sailboat when you're short-handed, how to sail with kids, and much more. Let's listen in.
In this issue, we will show you how you can come in alongside the dock using a single aft spring line. As you can see, we have come in on a single line, and we're sitting here alongside the dock with the engine slow ahead, and at my leisure I can go up and rig my bow line and my stern line. The great advantage of doing it this way is you throw the single spring line over, you take a strain on it, and with the boat in slow ahead, she will move sidewise and alongside the dock and stay there. If you come in and use your bow line or stern line to stub the boat, to stop the boat, you always have a disaster situation. The bow line will swing the bow in and bend up your pulpit. Stern line will swing the stern in and probably chew up the gel coat. When you're coming in alongside a dock, use a single aft spring, experiment with your boat to find the exact way to rig it, and then you'll be home free. As you come alongside the dock, drop the eye of the line over the bollard or the cleat, leave the engine in slow ahead, surge the line around the winch. The boat will spring sidewise alongside the dock. Helmsman can steer port or starboard as the wind and tide dictate, and the boat will lie alongside the dock on the single spring line. At your leisure, you may walk forward or aft and rig your bow and stern lines. This can be done with one person or two. With one person on board, just lock the helm once the spring line is over. With 2 people, the helmsman can steer the boat port or starboard according to the wind and tide to make her lay exactly as you want her alongside the dock. Every boat is different, and how you rig your aft spring will vary from boat to boat. In this boat, it works perfectly from the dock to the winch, because in this case, from the dock to the winch in a straight line, it points to the center of the boat, the pivot point of the boat. On some boats, you rig the line from the winch through a midship chock and then to the dock. On other boats, you rig it from the winch to a snatch block in the tow rail and experiment moving the block back and forth till you find the correct point to rig your snatch block. Every boat will be different. You've got to go and experiment and find out which system works best on your boat.
Donna's our expert on the practical side of things, but we've got plenty to excite those with a lust for cruising adventures. In each issue, we'll visit American as well as foreign destinations you'll want to see. This is your chance to experience firsthand what it's like to sail in the finest waters in the world. Europe, Venezuela, Tahiti, Florida, Ireland, California's Channel Islands, New Zealand, the Great Lakes, Norway, the land of fjords, Vikings, blonde hair, the midnight sun, and a rich seafaring heritage dating back centuries. To explore this unique world, we flew into Oslo and then made connections to Kristiansand. We joined Phil Friedman and Karen Josephson as they chartered a boat from Sail Scandinavia and embarked on an odyssey to rediscover Karen's ancestral roots buried deep in the Norwegian soil.
My father was Norwegian. It was particularly exciting for me to come to Norway and see many of the traditions that I had grown up with as a child. The first day we went to the open market in town, and there was beautiful fruits to provision. That was our first experience with how clean the Norwegian shops were, and beautiful flowers everywhere.
The plan for our itinerary is this. We're going to sail from Kristiansand to Risør to the Wooden Boat Festival. Then we'll sail back from Risør to Kristiansand, either on the inland passage, or if the weather permits, we'll sail offshore in the Skagerrak Sea. The most impressive thing about the sailing that we learned the first day was these are very difficult waters to navigate. The channel is frequently very narrow, and it's often necessary to go between rocks that are no more than 10 or 15 meters apart. It's exciting and very picturesque. I've never seen so many wooden boats in my entire life. It was amazing to see the blend of the old Norwegian sea tradition that's actively alive today.
In Grimstad, we stayed at the town dock. There were good facilities. It was very easy to just come up to the town dock and to tie up for a small fee. We had showers, and it was very convenient for shopping. Between Grimstad and Risør, we came out of the channel and got our first taste of the Skagerrak Sea, and sailed almost into Risør, and found that the boat has a very nice helm, very well balanced, and it was just a dream to sail.
It's a 42-foot Grand Soleil. It's a really nice boat. It's outfitted and can comfortably sleep 6 people.
For racing fans or anyone who wants to sail faster, I give a series of performance tips and tactics. Learn more about spinnakers, starting strategies, how to read instruments, or how to read the wind. Watch. Moving further forward, we have the mast man. This is the person who hooks the spinnaker pole up to the mast and actually pulls the sail up. When you pull the spinnaker up, you'll want to make long, hard pulls, getting as much halyard as you can. Once you start pulling the spinnaker up, pull as fast as you can until the spinnaker's at the top of the mast, and you should know this because you have pre-marked halyards. When it comes time to raise the pole, the pitman and the mast man have to work together to get the pole up in the air. Moving further forward, the bowman has to be nimble and quick, stay on his toes, and carefully watch what's happening. He feeds the spinnaker out of the bag, and he is responsible for hooking the spinnaker up. There's probably no more embarrassing moment than pulling a spinnaker up and suddenly realizing when it's too late that the spinnaker has gone up sideways. So it's really important to mark the spinnaker carefully. Head for the top of the sail, clues for either edge. It's important for the bowman to choose his time hooking up the spinnaker and the spinnaker pole carefully. You do not want to go forward immediately after attack while you're trying to gain speed, and you also don't want to go forward when you're in set of waves. It's best to do it when the boat is at full speed, everyone else is up on the windward rail, and the boat is in smooth water. That way you'll lose less distance. The key to any good maneuver is preparation in advance. In the pit, you want to make sure that all your lines are carefully coiled or flaked so they're ready to run. It's up to the bowman and the sail trimmers to check the guy and sheet to make sure that they're clearly led outside around the shrouds and led to the spinnaker. Do not raise the spinnaker pole up until the last possible moment. When a spinnaker pole is on the mast and up in the air, it creates windage. so you want to raise that as late as you possibly can. But in any case, it's best if you have the spinnaker completely ready to go, the pole hooked up and on the mast and raised, the guys in sheets led, and everybody in position 2 boat lengths before the mark, so that when you make your actual rounding, everyone on the crew can concentrate on making a fast set, while the helmsman and the sail trimmers can concentrate on speed. The Sailing Quarterly staff and I work hard to bring you the very best in sailing stories. Here's a sampling of some unique features you'll be part of when you subscribe. Hear how Bill Krelock designed specific Seacraft yachts and see how they're built. See historic Mystic Seaport Museum through the eyes of a 10-year-old boy.
The yard, the wooden crosspiece, the sail.
Join Superman Christopher Reeve and me aboard Chris's Cambria 46. Learn how to go up the mast to check and maintain your own rigging.
It's a very strong way to attach the shrouds.
See the scientific results as a dozen different anchors are tested in Florida sand and San Francisco mud. Join Sailing Quarterly, the U.S. Naval Academy, and the Coast Guard in a joint effort to teach man overboard recovery. Point and throw flotation. Designate a spotter. Listen to America's Cup veteran Tom Whidden explain sailmaking.
A series of panels then leaves the XY plotter and goes to a process called seaming.
Watch as Ted Turner and I race the classic 130-foot J-boats Endeavor and Shamrock 5.
What's the guy saying on the bow?
3 boat lengths, he says. 40 seconds.
Oh, shit. We better tack, don't you think?
Press down to.
He's gonna get us. He's gonna squeeze us off.
He won't squeeze in 30 seconds.
Yes, he will.
Okay.
It's too late. I've got the helm hard over.
Well, are you enjoying Sailing Quarterly so far? The story of Endeavor is just one of many unique inside stories you'll see when you subscribe to Sailing Quarterly. And ordering is easy. Simply pull out your credit card and call 1-800-783-7783 or put a check in the envelope I provided. Go ahead, I'll wait. Push the pause button and order now. Sailing Quarterly gives you honest product reviews from experts like naval architect Roger Marshall. Most importantly, on videotape, you get to see boats and other products in action. Recently, we reviewed chart plotters, GPS systems, and celestial navigation computer programs.
For several years now, electronics firms have been enticing us with these magic boxes that look so exciting. They're called chart plotters, and they combine the paper chart and the computer. While they do this, they eliminate the need for the parallel rules and dividers to plot your course from one waypoint to the next. They also eliminate the need for the tedious and error-prone task of transferring the latitudes and longitudes from your chart to the GPS or Loran.
Well, now you've had a good look at our video magazine, but there's one more aspect I want to show you. Let's hit the race course. In Australia, it's the Sydney Harbour 18s, and they can sail over 30 knots.
Lighter and no bigger than a dinghy, carrying sails nearly the size of a J-44, the 18s are the fastest monohulls on the water, reaching speeds of 30 knots, careening along a knife edge of hair-raising speed, balancing between ecstasy and disaster.
Closer to home, it's race weeks like Key West or Block Island. And for maximum excitement, How about you behind the lens of the first camera ever allowed aboard the high-tech, super secret maxi yacht, Matador Squared? For international racing action, watch as 250 women from 8 countries compete in the Rolex International Women's Keelboat Championships. Sailing Quarterly was also aboard for the first trials of the brand new America's Cup class yachts. And for real excitement, Sailing Quarterly brought its subscribers the hot action of the Whitbread Round the World race. Well, that's Sailing Quarterly Video Magazine, and I hope you'll agree that it's the best possible way to keep up with our sport. And if you think about it, just from watching the sample edition, you're already a better, faster, safer, more knowledgeable sailor. And if you're like most sailors, you've invested a lot of time and money in our sport. So if you think about the dividends you'll receive just from watching Sailing Quarterly, you'll conclude that it's a great value, perhaps the best piece of equipment you can add to your sailing. Sailing Quarterly videotapes will help you cruise more confidently and safely. You'll save money and gain pleasure chartering by knowing what to expect and where to go. And if you race, Sailing Quarterly will help you to win races, I guarantee it. What I'd like you to do is to subscribe to Sailing Quarterly right now, and I'll send you the next 4 issues for only $99.95. I'm so confident that you'll love Sailing Quarterly that every issue is 100% guaranteed. If you don't like an issue, send it back. We'll refund your money, no questions asked. So what I'd like you to do is pick up the phone or send in your subscription card and order Sailing Quarterly now.